Maxwell. I work on Sui consensus together with Tassus and Arun. So today I'm going to talk about Mysticeti. So we launched Mysticeti v1 last year, and we saw 80% reduction in consensus latency. And I think across Sui users, like people, a lot of users reacted with kind of like amazement on the how fast Sui has become. So are we done with Sui consensus? Can we just move on to work on other projects, like for example, congestion control? So there are actually a lot more things that we need to work on. So we talked to app developers, like market makers and validator operators. So it seems there are a few themes that still additional improvements are needed. The one is lower latency. So everyone likes their interaction with apps to be snappy. And then also people want the consensus engine to also be very resilient. People don't like downtime or latency spikes. And also there's some requests for more flexibility. Maybe not just so right now only validators can send and receive consensus blocks. But what about other people who also need this information as quickly as possible? For example, people trying to make market on Deephook. So we set out to tackle these issues since the Mysticeti v1 launch. So first, on the consensus latency front, so we started with just making sure we construct the DAC as high quality as possible. So basically, we're trying to only trust validators that has shown to have a good performance in producing blocks with very low latency and also broadcast blocks with very low variance. So only those validators can be trusted to be anchors on the DAC, which is basically the called leader sometimes, where we start from this particular block and then take all the other blocks that it links to as a consensus commit. And also the blocks that the leader linked to, they are also we are using a more sophisticated algorithm to select these links to make sure that the blocks are available on all the validators around the same time. And also, I think we observed some improvements on how validators are operated. For example, the network capacity and other hardware. So these improvements are rolled out over the months. And since Mysticeti v1 launched on mainnet, we have observed 15% reduction on the P50 and the P95 consensus latency. So this is non-trivial since Mysticeti v1 is already very optimized. To reduce the latency further, we took a step back and look at the Sui architecture overall. So there is so currently for every transaction to settle on Sui, there is a pre-validation step, where basically every validator votes on if the transaction can be successfully executed. So we are moving that step to to consensus to run concurrently with the consensus commit. So for that work, we are making a lot of progress on both the consensus component and also the Sui client component. So the expected saving in latency is also going to be very significant. We're going to have about 100 to 150 millisecond in latency savings. And the goal is to make it available for people to use on Sui testnet in June. So so after all these latency improvements, we are also looking at making sure the consensus component is as resilient as possible. So for maybe some people know, but there was like an incident in like Sui testnet when we are like testing Mysticeti, when we were developing Mysticeti v1, where the network was down for a few hours. So basically, one validator produced a lot of blocks, and it wasn't able to broadcast it to peers before, but then suddenly it was able to, and that overloaded the network. We don't want that to happen again on either testnet or mainnet. So we built this safety mechanism into Mysticeti, where the basically the size of consensus commit is now limited, or the number of blocks in a consensus commit is limited. So since then, and that is also launched recently, and now we are confident that those types of issues will never happen again. And then, yeah, on the flexibility side, so currently, like only validators run the consensus component. So they broadcast blocks to each of its peers. So every validator broadcasts blocks to each of its peer, and also receive blocks from every peer. For full nodes to receive the transaction stream, they need the checkpoint. So for checkpoints, there are some downsides. Like for example, there's higher latency for certifying checkpoints, and also people don't have access to the like uncertified transaction flow, which can be useful, like for example for like market makers, and also in a few other scenarios. So like we set out to make consensus more flexible by providing a stream of blocks from validator to full node. So in this case, a validator will stream like all the blocks from the network to like one or more full nodes. And then these full nodes will be able to receive the like transactions that are uncommitted. And also like they will be able to see the certified transaction stream as quickly as possible. This work is still in progress, and there's a SIP for it, and feel free to take a look. So yeah, so coming back to the roadmap, so Mysticeti v2 is gradual, like it is not a one-off switch, like Mysticeti, like switching from Narwhal to Mysticeti v1. Like rather, it is a series of optimizations that we are rolling out incrementally. So we have finished some of these tasks, but there are still some other like items that we're working on. So if you have like if your application is like very sensitive to latency, or you have some other ideas about how to use the consensus, feel free to find us after this presentation, or yeah, tag us on Twitter. So yeah, so our goal is to make the best consensus engine possible for app developers.